Before we begin with today's Get Good video, I just wanted to say thank you for getting the Noli Get Good video to a surprisingly good amount of views. I know it doesn't seem like much, but to me it's a great number of views. Now to the actual video, roll film. Welcome to a video on how to get good at John Doe, perhaps the only killer that people make memes of when some unrelated character has a spike-shaped arm. Players who can master this elite trapping motherfucker will be able to turn lobbies into their lady dog faster than a Minecraft YouTuber, ruining their reputation the moment they become popular. Let's get started. John Doe is a trapper playstyle killer, equipped with an amazing zoning tool, a trapping tool that can also be used for zoning, and an ability to find your next victim. His primary weapon is slash. Upon use, John Doe will slash forward with his left arm, with a decently sized hitbox to follow, and is capable of dealing a heavy 28 damage. However, John Doe's wind-up is competing for the longest wind-up in the game, at 0.4 seconds. This is an obvious warning when dealing with Mr. I'm gonna hog that generator 1337. After use, it goes on a 1.75 second cooldown. His stats are decent, with a high health count of 1500, a sluggish sprint speed of 27.25. and a terror radius of 60 studs. John Doe has two passives, with the first being Natural Malevolence, similar to Noli's Trickster passive. This passive is always active during the game. This passive causes John Doe to leave behind a footprint trail of a crypto scammer's old web browser. If any unfortunate fuck walks onto the trail, the survivor will be granted Corruption 2 for 3 seconds. John Doe's second passive is Unstoppable. This passive is more of a double-edged sword depending on how it's activated. Normally, John Doe is able to be stunned for the normal duration that a stun source can provide, like Shedletsky's sword having a 3-second stun. However, if John Doe uses either his first or third ability, and are stunned during the use of the ability, the stun time will be halved, and John Doe will roar loudly. Once he is out of the stun, John Doe will be given speed 1 for 3 seconds. This is a very good tool for catching up to certain sentinels like Chance, due to his ability to stun at a safe distance. A useful trait to this passive is depending on which ability of choice was used to activate Unstoppable. The passive will halve the cooldown of the used ability. Moving on to his kit, John Doe has 3 abilities, the first being Corrupt Energy. This ability is single-handedly the best zoning ability, and the best ability to shut down loops in the entire game. Upon use, John Doe will retain back to his times of lockdown, pretending to drop a bar of soap and acting like he's going to pick it up, only to then surprise fuck any unfortunate victim with an array of 27 spikes that travel quickly in the direction John Doe is looking in. I say in quote, the direction John Doe is looking in, because depending on where John Doe is looking, is where the spikes will travel. This means that you can try to mid-range snipe someone by spike flicking, where you face behind you, then shift lock to where you want your spikes to go, preferably your target's direction. Hitting a survivor with a spike will deal 12 damage, and grant John Doe speed 1 for 7 seconds. Do know you can hit the same survivor with multiple spikes, but only 4 spikes, caping at 48 damage. If the survivor is likely to be hit by a 5th spike, they will be given invincibility until they are no longer being damaged by the spike trail. After use, the ability will go on an 18-second cooldown. John Doe's second ability is Digital Footprint. This ability is very good for shutting down certain areas of maps to your desire. Upon use, John Doe will stop moving, and will start stomping his foot where he is standing, after which, a puddle of some 33-year-old file storage will spawn. The puddle is decent in size, meaning you can cut off certain areas that may seem too large, but might fit the puddle perfectly. If a survivor makes contact with the puddle, they will be given Corruption 1, and Slowness 2 for 10 seconds. As for John Doe, he is granted Speed 1 for 10 seconds, and the survivor is highlighted to John Doe. However, John Doe is also highlighted to the affected survivor. You are able to have 3 footprint puddles at a time. Attempting to place a fourth puddle will cause the oldest puddle to despawn. This ability can have two different uses. If someone steps in the puddle, you can either chase down the affected target, or use it to catch up to another survivor that is low. After use, it will go on an extremely short 3-second cooldown. John Doe's third and final ability is 404 Error. Upon use, John Doe will slow down greatly, and highlight all currently alive survivors for 6 seconds. However, you don't have to use this ability just to find survivors, you can also use it to activate Unstoppable. Simply put, if a sentinel is going to stun you, if you can react fast enough and use 404 Error, you will activate Unstoppable, letting the sentinel know that they made a severe lapse in their judgment. 404 Error is the quintessential of a parry ability for killers, so pick and choose how you wish to use this ability depending on the scenario. After use, it will go on a 20-second cooldown. In terms of strengths, John Doe's heavy damage can easily cut through survivors with ease. His corruption trail is able to slowly melt away at a survivor's HP bar, allowing for chip damage. Unstoppable can allow John Doe to catch up to sentinels with near ease, and makes stuns less punishing. Corrupt energy is capable of shutting down entire loops and bringing survivors into dangerous kill holes, ending in an easy kill for John Doe. Digital footprint is 90% of the time guaranteed a kill against the affected target, and is capable of cutting off areas of maps that survivors will be mostly going through. And 404 Error is a great tool for not only finding a target, but to also activate Unstoppable. However, John Doe's sluggish speed can screw him over greatly. His long wind-up is easy to predict and block if you are going against Guest 1337. All of John Doe's abilities leave him open to being stunned, due to them having a large amount of linger, and locking John Doe down in place. And if sentinels are smart enough to wait out your abilities, like 404 Error, stuns will be a lot more punishing, especially against chance. Thanks to this guide, you will now know how to play the funny evil corrupted script of Roblox's olden days. Thanks for watching, and happy trapping.